Well, here I am back in the workshop. It's 20 minutes to 6 on Thursday the 31st of July 2014. The weather's overcast, it's quite mild, overcast, and the actual temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. There you go. Now, just before I start, I made a daft mistake in a previous video. I twice referred to George Galloway as George Gallagher. I was able to correct it on the third occasion because I had assumed that that's exactly what I'd said. But then I thought I'd said his name correctly. But it was only when I played it back I realised I hadn't. Anyway, apologies to George Galloway. Now, I'd been reading an autobiography of a guy called Willie Gallagher. Wonder how many of you out there know who Willie Gallagher was? Alright, well I'll tell you. Willie Gallagher was a communist member of Parliament here in Britain. There were two actually. I'll leave you to find out who the second one was, if you're interested, which I doubt. No disrespect. People in Britain just aren't bothered about these sort of things anymore. No, I doubt if we'll ever see another communist member of Parliament here in Britain, ever. I doubt if we'll even see a member of the socialists in Parliament again, ever. No, the British people will just keep voting for the same clowns, be they conservative capitalists, Liberal Democrat capitalists, or Labour capitalists, or even UKIP capitalists. They just keep voting for the same clowns each year because they like it to be exciting. Oh yeah, they like to be kept on their toes, you know, not knowing whether they'll have a job next year or not. I mean, who wants a settled life? That'd be boring, wouldn't it? No, let's keep the excitement going. Well, if that's what you idiots out there want, best of luck. I'm glad I'm not part of it anymore. Right, the alligators again. I'm getting fed up with this, but I'll carry on until it's only just me that's doing it, and then I'll pack it in. Right, so there's been a bit of correspondence. Now, normally I don't write stuff down or rehearse stuff or anything like that for these videos, which is why I make mistakes. It's all spontaneous. But on this occasion I've had to write some notes because when you're dealing with officialdom you've got to make sure that your facts and figures are correct. And I've been dealing with officialdom. The Evening Mail reported that Mary Irwin had said that the local people here don't close the gates. The gates had cost £75,000 in maintenance in 1 year. Therefore it just wasn't worth it. The locals wouldn't miss the gates because they don't use them, and the council would save that £75,000 a year without having to maintain them. So take the gates away. That was the argument. I challenged that, and I got a response from another councillor, Anne Burns, right, who had said, you know, she was sorry that it had to be delivered through the Evening Mail and it could have been done better, but there you go, that's the way things are. Yes, the gates were going to be taken away because of the cost. She said £72,000. Alright, what's £3,000 between friends? £72,000. And that was the figure I used. And I asked her if there could not be a public meeting so that those in the areas affected could thrash this out. And I got an email back saying yes, she'd be more than willing to meet with residents. Good point. But it wasn't the whole town centre. Oh no. It was just one zone. Not a ward, a zone. That's a new one on me. And it was Zone 3. She said that Zone 3 the boundary of Zone 3 was from Greengate Street to Salthouse Road. Now, a boundary like that has got 4 sides, you know, unless it's circular or elliptical. So where were the other 2 streets or roads to define it? I asked for this, didn't get a reply, so I contacted Cumbria County Council and they provided me with the other 2 streets marking the zone. That's Rollinson Street and Hinepool Road. Now, that is Zone 3. Well, that was the area we called West Central for the residents group. I've got it. There you go. Is it going back a long time now? West Central Street Survey. Asking people, did they really want a residents group and would they support it? Well, after 2 years, the 4 of us decided to jack it in. They weren't interested. So what's the outcome of this? Okay, the outcome, very briefly. An official of the Cumbria County Council here in Barrow asked where I got the information, the figure of £72,000 from. So I'm going to tell her. From Councillor Ann Burns. I don't make up these figures, right? Not only that, there is no intention of holding a public meeting. What's going to happen is that each of the residents in Zone 3, the households in Zone 3, will receive like a voting slip so that they can indicate whether they want the gates to be retained or whether they want them to be removed. And that will form the basis of a discussion for the next Barrow committee for the council, county council. That's the way it's going to be done. No public meeting. Why didn't our county councillor inform me of this? Didn't she know? Anyway, I told her where I'd got the £72,000 from, and she says, well, according to her figures, for Zone 3, it's only £10,000 and a bit. Well, actually, I'll tell you what it is, £10,606. That's a big difference from £72,000. In fact, to be precise, it's a difference of £61,000, £394. Big difference. So, if Zone 3, us, only cost the council £10,000 and a bit, let's say, call it £10,500 for meeting the cost of vandalism to the gates, and other areas had run up a total of £61,000 plus, why are we being victimised then? What are these other areas? Plus, that £10,000 plus, £5,000 of that, the cost of that was some idiot ramming one set of gates with his car. Now, there was no indication whether he was a resident or whether he was from outside. That cost £5,000. So Central has only cost the council just over £5,000 for a year. Not £72,000. So I want to know where the sums are coming from and why we are being penalised. I've got to go, I'm running out of time. I'll be back.